That's what it's trying to do. That's what it's trying to get you to do. It will take anyone and make them feel like the worst person on earth. That is what it does. It's subtle. It might not present with anxiety. It might not present with chronic guilt. It may just feel. It doesn't need to be described as, does it do this, does it do that, does it do this? It can do a whole assortment of things. People come in all the time, they say, Rob, I've got this one thing, I know you've never seen this before. I know you've worked with loads of people, you've never seen this one thing that I'm going to tell you right now. And I'm always thinking, I better have. Always. And after working with thousands of people, I usually have. But to them, the same as me, when I was in that position and I sat down there to seek help, initially myself, I used to think, if I tell anyone what I think I've done right now, I'm going to be locked up and chucked in that prison, that van. There'll be a prison van outside that will take me straight off to the prison. I used to think that the OCD, I was absolutely convinced that everyone else had OCD and I didn't. I was real. I was the exception. That these guys, if I had their problems, it's all a load of crap and mine is the serious one. That's what it felt like. Oh my God, they're worrying about nothing. I'll forget all that. God, why are they whining about that? It sounds really negative, but that's how I felt. That's how I felt. I felt like mine is the exception. This is real. If only they knew what I was going through, this is a whole different story. That is what it's going to feel like. That's what it feels like. It's always painted with this sort of light touch, airy-fairy sort of way of explaining OCD. Oh, it's just thoughts. Oh, it's just leave it there. Oh, it's just leave them like clouds to pass through your head. They're nothing. With just that light description, those people that are in this catchment that I'm talking about right here feel like, that ain't me. That ain't me. That is not me, just thoughts. These are feelings. These are urges. I'm walking down the street and I'm getting these urges. That's what it's so utterly convincing that you cannot tell the difference when you're in it. It wouldn't matter if there was 500 pieces of paper here all saying innocent, this is why, evidence. OCD doesn't give a damn. 0.000000001% feels like 110%. That's what living with OCD is like. That is exactly what it's like. And until you're in that, it's like when you're watching a movie and the killer's behind the person and you think, oh my God, why don't they just turn around now? Why can't they see that? Or the killer's the person manipulating the movie and you think, oh my God, why can't they see that thing that he's doing or he's saying? Why can't they see that? Why don't they just open their eyes? We've all been in that position. Well, with OCD, you kind of are aware of that to some degree, but you're still like, no. And it's got into that part of the brain that's made it feel so real that you are absolutely locked on, fused to that real sensation, where whatever information you're hearing that is conflicting with what you're thinking doesn't even get acknowledged, recognized, or adopted because the brain is just completely based on that sensation. That sensation feels all empowering. That sensation feels all consuming. That sensation changes your whole bodily sort of functioning. Let's think of when you've got chronic guilt and anxiety latched. My shoulders and neck would be like this. Felt hunched, all the muscles tight, all the stomach gnawing, all the body sweating, drenched, like that. It felt like there was this massive guilt that had been sort of shoved into my stomach, turned up to full notch and left there. And whatever I did wouldn't release that sensation, locked. I would sit in the bath and I would put the salts in, I'd put the heat on and I'd turn it all up and I would lie there and I would think, for fuck's sake, Rob, you've just got to learn to relax. This is so rare. And it's like, no way. You are guilty. You have done this. I'm afraid. And I used to think, well, what am I going to do with this? This is so unlikely. This has changed from last week. Surely online it says relaxing in a bath, having a massage, all these things will stop this. No. I used to have that massage. I used to lie in that bath and this would be like this on the massage table. This would be like this in the hot bath. It would be like that. And then people used to say to me all the time, oh, you don't look too bad. Obviously, that's what they say because they can't see it. And then they used to say to me, oh, surely if you have a massage, if you have a hot bath, you have all these things, it's going to relax. Sometimes I relax for a couple of hours after those things. And then in a week to 2 weeks, I was bang back like that, locked in, no, not week to 2 weeks, sorry. It used to feel like that for maybe an hour or two after the massage, and then bang, locked, latched back in there as soon as it started to turn up. And it can turn up anywhere. You only have to have a thought. And a thought was like a nuclear bomb going off. It was like a new thought, or especially with the false memory, real event related stuff. Like suddenly, oh my God, what if I remember that I did this thing in the past that was so bad that it's made da-da-da-da-da happen, and that's, you know, it moved the goalposts. So like whatever you set as a thing, like, oh, I can accept this, it would just move it to one bit to the left. You know, like whatever it was, whether it was you did this, it would say, but what if you did that? If you thought you did this another time, then it would say, but sure you wasn't that time. It's going to do all of that because that's the nature of this thing.